We as human beings have to ask ourselves the question, why? Why do we think the way we do? Say the words we say? Believe the things we believe? Is our way of thinking stopping us from experiencing a life of satisfaction? These are the questions we need to ask and answer for ourselves if we aim to live a happy life. My name is Mark Murray, and I wrote the book Why. It's all about my life experiences and struggles. Things like the God concept, relationships, addiction, and all of those self-inflicted wounds that caused me to suffer in life always had me asking, why do I do these things that make me suffer? After many years of counseling, group therapy, Bible studies, and a whole lot of reading, I've come up with some answers. Since I know a lot of people struggle with the same things, I figure maybe I could help others realize life can be a wonderful journey when one understands why many of us suffer from things like clinical depression, addiction, and suicidal tendencies for no good reason. I was born in the Black Hills of South Dakota and now reside in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. I'm your typical average man in size, looks, and background. However, my life has been anything but typical. I've pretty much marched to the beat of my own drum. This led to much conflict and plenty of trouble. Now, I wasn't a hardened criminal for things like robbery or battery. However, when it comes down to drugs and obeying authority, there were many problems. If not for the welding program, I probably would not have finished high school. I was very lucky in finding my God-given talent for welding. I excelled in welding, finishing a 2-year program in the first year, became a student teacher throughout my senior year, and became a substitute teacher in the following years. I won the regional and state competitions in welding. However, I wasn't allowed to compete at the national level due to a mix-up at the school with unpaid dues. As it turned out, my welding instructor paid my dues in the first quarter of my junior year, even though you cannot compete until you are a senior. The confidence the instructor felt was not shared by head of student services at the time. So he put the dues in a welding file instead of the appropriate file where it was forgotten. Therefore, missing deadlines on dues kept me from competing at the national level where I most likely would have won. I felt pretty bad, like I was cheated in life. This led me to self-medication, failed relationships, and anger towards the structure of institutional society. I did a lot of drugs and alcohol. I was homeless for a while, even overdosed and nearly died a couple of times. I got arrested a lot, which led to government programs and psychological evaluations, psychiatrists and counselors. It took me a while, but I made a decision to learn from all that, and after more than 40 years of drug abuse, I have recovered. I decided to use all the knowledge and experiences I have gathered to help others who have gone through or are currently going through a similar situation. We have to do it for ourselves. No one else can do it for us. I always say, if not for self-inflicted wounds, we would have no problems. And the answer to all our problems in life begin and end in one place, and that's the mind. The mind is the womb where thought or seed is born. Only through or with our intent does it come to fruition. That's why the very first chapter of the book deals on why thought is the mother of intention. You see, in this world there are two dimensions. The physical dimension you see through your eyes and feel with your touch. The non-physical dimension you see with your mind's eye and feel with emotion. The non-physical dimension is where your thoughts and dreams live. Therefore, your ability to master and control the non-physical dimension will decide whether you will lead a fulfilled life or not. If you know how energy flows, you can learn to flow with life. If you had more energy, would you not do more things? How many times have you watched young ones playing while thinking to yourself, I wish I had some of their energy? We all wake up with a certain amount of energy to use during the day and waste most of it on things we don't even realize. Humans waste so much personal energy trying to convince themselves that other people who appear to have faith must be smarter and better informed, rather than taking the time to look to themselves for the answers to life's questions. The only person we can truly know is ourselves. This is why one needs to become self-aware in order to use energy in the form of thought wisely, as to learn what they truly enjoy in life. If you waste all your energy on hate and anger, you will experience a whole lot of hate and anger towards you. It is your free will to use your energy to your liking or not. If you don't focus your thought energy on creating your positive world, then all of the negative things in your life are your own fault. If you don't focus your energy on creating anything, and you are just trying to cruise along through life, then you, by default, will tend to attract negative energy. It doesn't matter what one thinks is right or wrong, it is what it is. Until you focus your thought energy, which in turn attracts like energy in a positive or negative form, in both the physical and non-physical dimensions. By the law of attraction, if you don't give direction to your creating, then the default is negative creation. This principle also applies to knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge to me is non-physical and best described as alleged knowing. Knowledge is what thought energy is made of and is the only thing the mind can use in the art of creation. The alleged part of knowledge is due to the fact most of what we think we know isn't true. The truth is alive and always changing. What is true today might not be true tomorrow. Another good reason for living in the moment. We also must learn a lot more on how to better manage our feelings, beliefs, and other factors which are pivotal to making life easier and more enjoyable. If you don't know what you want, your feelings will tell you. Ignore your feelings and get what you expect. So why not be honest with yourself and imagine a better life to happen? You are in charge of your reality. Even free will can come at a cost. This is how our beliefs become the sole source of all the negativity that creates our personal hell in life. They carry the power to motivate oneself to achieve anything in life they so desire. Answer the questions of why you want something, and if it doesn't go against the greater good, the universe will help you, if you believe it can. Again, words are so pivotal to our beliefs. I view words as a form of magic we use to create. We can use words to create a wonderful, joyous, heavenly world, which to me is positive. We can also create the opposite, which I will term hell or negative. The best part is we truly have the choice. The way to choose a positive way of life requires action. I don't know anyone who really chooses a negative life. How would you feel if I told you that the truth is only true in the moment it happens? What if I told you that everyone's truths are different? Truth is relative to persons and circumstances. The elusiveness of truth is one of the reasons we should not be so quick to judge others or ourselves. Good judgment comes from experience. Experience comes from bad judgment. To me, judgment is best used as a way to gauge whether or not an action was truly joyful. Judgment should only be used to help oneself learn about the importance of life. Let us all experience the learning process without judgment, and the truth will absolutely set us free. I know a lot about drug addiction from personal experience. I have seen and lost many things because of it. The word addict is defined as to devote or surrender oneself to something habitually or obsessively. Why does one become addicted? I believe addictions come from doing something that brings comfort. If just being devoted to an action, like saving the world or something like that, is an addiction, then we are all addicted to something. The biggest problem with addiction is if the addict doesn't want to stop, he or she won't stop until the body forces the mind to stop. I believe since all of life energy is vibrating at different frequencies, in order to make a true connection, we focus our energy on looking at something, and if that vibrating energy is in tune with our frequency, then a feeling of love is sensed. As long as two people are of similar frequencies, the law of attraction takes to bringing them together. The closer the vibrating frequency, the stronger the love. Once you become aware that you are in control of your vibration, you can choose to vibrate at different levels. Therefore, love is a choice. On the other hand, forgiveness is a daily, ongoing process one needs to practice daily, kind of like love. Love is how we gain the energy needed to protect ourselves from those who know not what they do. Life can be very satisfying when one chooses to learn how to solve their own problems. If you choose to rely on what others tell you, then you will surely experience a lot of confused, mixed emotions. Why not use your feelings in the correct way? If you can look at feelings as either bad or good, then all the different labels we give feelings won't be so confusing. You can learn to answer all of your own questions of why do I think and do what I do, since only you can. You can't help anyone else if you can't help yourself. If you are in the process of helping yourself, you will find the universe produces the right people and things to help you. Things that you need just show up. If you don't believe this can happen, then you won't see it when it does show up. When one learns to cut out the thoughts that lead to suffering, then the thoughts of happiness and success can live on. With practice, one learns to choose thought wisely with a sense of love as a guide, and a satisfying life that is full of energy can be the only result. Well, here we are in the beginning of the last chapter. So far, I hope I have shown you a reason to question all your thoughts and beliefs, especially when they are such a large part of everyday trials and tribulations. To become self-aware is how we decide on what life path may lead us to a more interesting and fulfilling way of life. The path to personal freedom only starts in the mind of oneself, after they decide they have suffered enough and want to experience more joy and love in this life. The age of this person can vary from young to old. Sadly, some don't come to this realization until they are on their deathbed. Many look to religion for the answers of divinity and find enough information to satisfy their questions of why a need for a higher power termed God is important. It seems so obvious that us human beings require rules and regulations and a constant reminder which tells us we need to treat each other better. It is my sincere desire that as you read this book, you learn something powerful from it. About your thoughts, your beliefs, and so on. That these things you learn will help you find happiness and satisfaction in your life. Because in the end, only you can give yourself that satisfaction in life. Nobody else can do that for you. I am Mark the Welder. So long. Have a blessed life.